I have officially lived in Los Angeles for 9 months. I have lived every day since then trying to honor what I believe is my purpose in this life. Everyone in this world, in some way, should dedicate themselves to being of good use to others. It is my mission to be the love that I would like to receive. To never pass judgment on another for their appearance, their socioeconomic status, their perceived capabilities, or general life experiences. Because love should be the order of every day, of every interaction. You should never touch another if not with love. I believe that what you put out into the world comes back to you multiplied. So at this time, I choose to put all of my love into this life. Being good to others will always be more difficult than being bad, because it is a universal truth of this world that anything worth having will not come easy, especially not under these circumstances. When I lived in New York for the 4 years before this was not a lesson I had yet learned. I clashed with many people during my time in the city. There are often times I wish I was not so naive when I chose to move from Virginia. Times that I wished I had saved more money, done more research, or just matured a little more. But it was what it was for a reason. I spent some of the most difficult years of my life in New York City. I slept on an air mattress for 6 months. I lived in a bedroom with no window, no AC, through the middle of the summer. It nearly broke my soul. In 2022, I met Alexei. I was working at a hotel in Soho when a very enthusiastic Russian man handed me his resume while I stood at the host stand. I told him the manager wasn't available, but I promised him that I would still give him the resume. I didn't think much of it at the time, but when he got the job, he was always so grateful to me, as though I had done him the world's biggest favor. There are very few people in the world who will change another person's life the way Alexei has changed mine. He was my friend when I didn't have any, and I have experienced so many firsts with him in my life. During a time when most of the people I surrounded myself with did not like me nor see a value in my contribution, Alexei made me feel special every time we were together. As time went on, we both got different jobs. I moved into an apartment with people who allowed me to feel like I was at home for the first time in years. And then Alexei moved back to Los Angeles, where he had originally lived when he came to the United States in the first place. I spent a good, quiet 2.5 years living in Washington Heights. I got a new job where I didn't feel like I had to strive to be someone who I was not. I learned to bartend. I finally decorated my own bedroom. Then one day, Alexei called me. He said he had just moved into a new apartment and that he wanted me to visit. I had never been to LA, so I immediately jumped at the opportunity. As soon as I arrived, I fell in love with the geography of Southern California. Waking up every day and having the palm trees peeking up above the buildings and all of the beautiful houses spread over the top of the hills, I was obsessed. It immediately felt like home, and after Alexei showed me the neighborhood, he said, well, you can stay if you'd like. It's interesting, to say the least, that I could have never predicted this turn of events. But in retrospect, it has become the perfect story. I am incredibly blessed to get to live here, and in a trendy neighborhood where I feel a sense of community and I can hear the birds chirping. I am so lucky to find a partner like Alexei, who teaches me to never compromise on what I want and constantly reminds me of my worth. My life is too beautiful to be mere coincidence. So I must do with it what I am able and change as many lives as I can for the better. What I mean when I say I put all of my love into this life, I am saying that I can no longer be afraid to love someone first, to love someone more than they love me, because there is no greater love for me to receive than what I am able to give to someone else. It is my greatest pleasure to be the joy in other people's lives. It is my mission to pass my joy, my love for life, on to others. You cannot give love away. It is something that you create, and it is boundlessly inside of you. So there is no reason to live in fear of rejection, embarrassment, of somehow losing love to others. Sharing myself with you in this way is my passion. Showing my vulnerability, my growth, and learning joy through adversity and constant change is my lifeblood. It is an immense and unparalleled privilege to get to share this life with you, to learn so much from you, and to get to be a receiver of your very own boundless love. Thank you for listening.